Hello, ladies. I'm here again. And I keep saying, I know I'm repetitive, with these amazing ladies that I met a few years ago and meeting them back again. And so I'm here with Dena Trocino. Did I say that good? Trocino. And Dena, what was your story when I met you?
So when I met you, I was just at the very beginning stages of this author journey of writing.
We were just sharing the story, right? Because you hadn't written it yet.
No, I was just starting out. I'd already started my Specially Empowered Moms business. Yes. And the book is really my transformational journey of becoming a special needs mom. And just at the beginning stages of it.
But you have how many children?
I have 5 children.
And so where's your special needs child in the midst of that?
She's the last one.
Wow. So you had the surprise?
Yes, my oldest is 37, she's 14.
Dear Lord, yes, I understand that. Why, God, right?
I know.
And then special needs.
Yes.
So what was your internal struggle that you were having at this time?
So we were in the busiest season of our life, running our youth outreach. So it wasn't just our 5 children. At that time, it was 4 children. We were mentoring hundreds of teens, at-risk teens. Many of them called us mom and dad.
Yeah.
So it was thriving at that time. And I was already trying to juggle motherhood and running being the executive youth director for our youth outreach. And then at 42, God decides to bring us another baby. And that was a shock by itself. I was like, are you kidding me? Do you know that I'm old? Like, why would you be doing this?
There's a list of questions that we have for
so
God.
That's really what it was. It was like I didn't understand why God would do this.
Yeah.
And we did not find out that she had special needs until she was born.
Wow.
And so that was even, the biggest part of the devastating journey. I had no idea what I was doing.
Because usually they can tell you that, in these sonograms that you have, and they can tell you the sex of the child, and my era was not like that at all.
Right. And so we were completely surprised.
Right.
Yeah.
And so what is that internal struggle like for you?
So you go into this protective mode at the same time as I don't want to do this. So I struggled with this constant grief of not wanting to do this. Not that I didn't want her. I can't imagine my life without her, but honestly, I didn't want to be a mom of a special needs child.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that at that season of my life. And I felt very, very guilty of that. It was something that I hid.
Yes.
I was already struggling with, just depression and even being suicidal, which is a whole other story.
Yeah.
Running a youth outreach with kids that I was helping to overcome that, trying to hide that myself. And now you add this on top of it.
Yeah.
And so it was just something that was so hard to deal with. And I hid it. I didn't want to tell anybody because I was embarrassed. I was ashamed that I felt that way.
And the other thing that we have to understand is, this is Christendom, where we will talk about or help others with suicide, but never talk about the suicide or depression that we ourselves as leaders are carrying while serving.
Right. You just put the mask on. Everything's okay.
Yes.
Just pretend everything's good when you're dying inside.
Yeah. So when did, as the saying go, when did everything just collapse?
There came a point when I knew that I had to get it together for her, that she was going to need me for the rest of her life.
Excellent.
And so it came from really surrendering. I could not do this by myself.
Wonderful.
And I thought that I could. I mean, gosh, we had parented 4 kids. Like, I thought I was a pro at this, but I was not.
Supermom. We put on the Supermom cake.
I was Supermom. No, but not with her. I just didn't know what to do. The unexpectedness of it. And it came from surrender. And it was finally when I surrendered and chose to partner with God that he actually showed me that she was really there to save my life.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was really, I didn't know I needed her. I was resistant to having her, but then I didn't realize how much she was actually going to transform my life and actually bring me into my greatest purpose. So it actually turned out, instead of being a devastating detour, it turned out to be the greatest blessing that ever happened in my life. And now I'm able to help other moms really walk through that hard season.
Because let's talk about this for a moment. Postpartum depression, right?
About postpartum years.
Right? I'm glad because we never talk about this at all. And so you've got your own struggle, postpartum depression.
Yes.
A child who needs you 24/7.
Yes.
A ministry that needs you.
24/7.
A husband that needs you. Yes. There's just layers of responsibility, and yet you are aching inside.
Yes.
I mean, polite about how I say that. And so the key is, and you said this, and that's why I emphasize it, the key is surrender.
It wasn't surrender.
And I hope that you ladies really hear that, and those of you that are not ladies, but you will come across this, somebody shared this, because we cannot go through, she's a leader, she's a mom, she has responsibility on many layers like many of you do, but when we can't do it, and we don't want to take drugs to nullify everything, because I'm sure they offered you some good drugs, honey, and we don't take drugs to do that. We have to trust God and surrender to God. And I'm so glad that you wrote about it, because it's so needed. That's why I'm loving these ladies. I'm going to keep saying amazing. I'll find a new vocabulary maybe 3 days later. But right now, resilience is the word. Anthology 1 and 2 is the books that you need to order and get into the hands of friends and loved ones, because this is going to help so many things that you cannot address. These ladies address it, and you see the breakthrough. You see the evidence of the breakthrough. So I'm so glad to do this with you. Once again, click like, click share, subscribe, and let's keep this movement of resilience going. I'm gonna start calling it a movement of resilience.
We are creating a movement.
Yes, you are.
For kingdom impact.
Yes. And who are you, the warrior riders?
We are the warrior riders. Yes.
That says it
Absolutely.
all. Bless you all, and don't forget, we'll be right back.